Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This time we're doing an update for the Fireball Inquisitor. I've made some great progress since last video and I'm excited to share it with you. So let's get started. Atlas-wise, I've now got 100 out of 100 maps and all 4 Voidstones done, which of course is much better for farming. The Pact and Belt interaction is so core to what I'm doing that it's hard to say whether this is truly a League start build, but for what it's worth, I've League started it and had some decent success, so consider that. I've also added a ton of character power, starting with some quality of life. Thanks to a commenter on the last video, I'm now using an Arcanist brand so I don't have to manually cast Flame Surge and Wave of Conviction. I upgraded the boots slightly with a Vestigial mod, making me take no damage from bleed and poison, which is fantastic quality of life as well. So I tried the Valka bloodline, and it turned out to be really strong. The circle is pretty large, as you can see on screen, and it's reasonable to control the pops in most areas by flame dashing away. So you can see if we have a mob like on the edge of the screen here that we're hitting, we can just run out of it like that and it'll pop. But if somebody's on top of us and we hit them, we kind of have to flame dash to about there and it'll pop. But it's controllable, which means that it's actually really, really strong. It functions basically as 30% more DOT on enemies that you have a slow time killing. It's not going to function on anything that you kill instantly because it's still in the circle, but who cares because those are dead anyway. We also have a couple of new rings, leaning pretty heavily into DPS. So Ember Wake gives us some good stats and an additional Ignite. It's basically a better version of the new Keystone. The other ring I ghostcrafted with Deli Essences for a 15% damage over time multiplier until I found a good res, and then I exalted on a strength, and then finally Warlord exalted to get the 4 to 6 fire damage per endurance charge. I think there's actually a better mod there I can get from a Warlord exalt, but I'll take what I can get. The ring's okay. And then along the same theme of sacrificing defense for damage, we're using Venomous's Weave to get aspect of the spider and the more damage with hits and ailments mod. So this is just a really efficient aura for what we're doing, and that mod on the gloves actually gives us a ton of damage as well. So where do we go next from here? Well, I've been doing a lot of exploring and path of building. What I've found is that I don't really think I can push Ignite much further. In theory, I could keep my current setup and get a bunch more cast speed, then the new Keystone would actually be a bunch of damage, but I don't really think that's something I can incorporate, at least not for a reasonable amount of currency. So instead, I started looking around a bit at what others are doing. And I stumbled upon this insane piece of tech from Exiled Angela regarding the new jewel Reclaimed Malevolence. I'll link the video in the description below. You guys should definitely check that out. But essentially, it tattoos over one of your ascendancy nodes and allows your fireballs to detonate at 5 meters from your character, which completely transforms how the skill plays. I think that this is the way forward, so I'm going to try to farm up for a bit to get a good Reclaimed Malevolence and try it out. So how I plan to farm this Reclaimed Malevolence is by doing destructive play Shaper Guardian maps. I understand this is a strategy a lot of people do on like day 1, day 2 to make currency. And at this point, it seems like it's pretty viable with this build. I think that if you are faster in progression than I am, if you got to this point on like a day 2, day 3, as opposed to what are we like a week into the league, maybe you'd be doing the same thing. Maybe this really is like a viable league start kind of build. It's just hard for me to say. But basically, I just do a rotation with a single cartography scarab of escalation to help with sustain. Do the Maven invitation and then repeat. And I'm getting like 60 an hour doing that way. So it could take me like a day or two depending on how much I play, but I'll get that jewel and keep progressing with Fireball. So in conclusion, we've pushed Ignite as far as we can, and it's time to explore a little bit. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.
My mana is spent.
Time to up the stakes. Grasp your mortality tightly. Mortal flesh is so fallible.
I must have time to gather my will.
Give yourself to the void.
Welcome! Time has no meaning here. Your pain will be...
Feel death's pull. Bile. Mortal flesh is so fallible.
I shall free you!
Feel your life drain away.
Away with you! I thought myself better than you.